Well, you ever wonder how they get bulk potatoes out of a reefer trailer? I got a video to show you how they do that. Also, Ass-Wagon cuts me off in Minnesota, and why lumpers are the biggest scam in the trucking industry, and running the cereal back to Wyoming, Rusty, and more on this episode of
The Clutch Trucker Channel.
Clutch Trucker, filmed before a live and fuzzy studio audience. Yep, that's Rusty, the world-famous meatball dog. Hey YouTube, Clutch Trucker here. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Clutch Trucker Channel. One thing I do love about this job is you see lots of stuff that most people never see or never even wonder about. And I'm a curious fellow, and so I like seeing lots of interesting things like this load of insulation I picked up on Monday. I didn't get any video of it, but the whole machine that put them into the bags and then brought them over and stacked them in a certain way and put them on the pallets and then shrink wraps the whole thing, all completely automated. It was really interesting to watch. And then I, delivered that on Tuesday morning. Oh, did get to meet a couple of subscribers. They're going to be coming up here in just a little bit. Then when I was in Clara City, Minnesota, yeah, not one but two came by. How about that? So stand by for that. But one thing you may wonder is, like, back in the day when I used to do reefers, and for those of you who don't know what that means in trucking, refrigerated trailers. They have a little extra power unit on the front of the trailer. I can't pull one with this truck because of my extension for the bed upstairs and everything on this truck. But back when I used to do reefer, sometimes I get bulk loads of potatoes, and they just load them in on a giant conveyor belt, and they load them on the floor, and the conveyor belt slowly moves back as they just keep dumping them on the floor of the trailer. Then you wonder, well, how do they get them out of there when they're just dumped in there like that? Well, you go to a place that receives them like that, and you pull onto this ramp. You have to disconnect from the trailer. They chain the trailer down, and then they take it up into the air more than 45 degrees so all the potatoes tumble out. Caught a video of this as I was getting loaded Tuesday in Minnesota, in Perm is the way they say it apparently, P-E-R-H-A-M. I want to say Perham, but apparently everyone there says, no, it's Perm, like you get a perm in your hair. But there was another building where, yeah, obviously they were delivering potatoes. It was right next to this Kinney's Foods and Snacks. Maybe it was for them too, or maybe they were making potato chips out of that. But caught this in the air. Check this out. I remember bringing a load of potatoes to Campbell's Soup in Napoleon, Ohio. And after they brought it back down, reefer trailers have a corrugated floor. So that if ever anything leaks, like especially if you're hauling beef and there's blood, it goes down into little channels and doesn't get, under the boxes and everything. Problem is, the potatoes tend to get stuck in there. Some places I deliver the potatoes to, when they have it up there on that ramp, they'll bounce it real hard to try to shake all the potatoes out. But you still get some that are going to get stuck on the floor. So now you got to go get the trailer washed out, and they got to get in there with a crowbar kind of thing and kick out all these potatoes. Really kind of a pain in the butt. I know when I delivered the Campbell's Soup, there was tons of them left in there, and it cost me probably $90, $100 to get that trailer cleaned out after that load. So just FYI, drivers, you have a reefer trailer, you're going to take a bulk load of potatoes. Make sure you get enough to pay for that clean out afterwards. What do you think? After I had picked up the insulation, I remember I had to fill two holes. I had to fill Monday and Tuesday after I delivered the lignite in Rothschild, Wisconsin. So I picked up a load of insulation in Spencer, Wisconsin, and brought it over to Marshall, Minnesota. And I was going to stay the night at Clara City, and I'd mentioned that in my last video. There was a couple of subscribers who said, oh, well, when are you going to be there? I live nearby. I'd like to come by and say hello. So then first off, when I get pulled in there, I plan to be there about 5. Got there about 5:30. And Steven is waiting for me. Okay, got a visitor in the truck. This is Steve.
Well, hi there.
Thanks so much for coming by.
Glad to be here.
We're at the exciting holiday station here in it's Clara City, right?
Clara City.
And you live over in Livingston, you said?
Litchfield.
Litchfield. All right. You basically told me where that was, and it was near a town I drove through.
Well, you're on Highway 7 here.
Right.
Litchfield's on Highway 12, which is the next east and west road north of here.
Gotcha. Okay.
So.
But yeah, you saw in my videos that this is where I'd be, so I saw
Yep.
you put in the comments that you'd like to come by, and so I said, all right, I should be there around 5-ish. And it was more like 5:30, but we made it.
Yeah, it's fine.
So thanks so much for coming by.
Anytime.
Yeah, we got to chat for a little while. It was nice, and then I took Rusty out while he was talking with me, and then brought Rusty over. He said, well, you got to come meet my wife. So I brought Rusty over so he could say hi to her. And then I saw this vehicle pull up and park right next to my truck, and somebody get out and walk around to the driver's door. And I realized, oh, that's probably another subscriber who, because I remember 2 people said they might come by. So I said goodbye to him and then walked over and met my next subscriber. Okay, now we've got a second visitor here in the truck. So for a tiny little town like this in Minnesota, I've got 2 visitors tonight. This is, we call him Lone Eagle.
Yep.
And you do a lot of geocaching, and that's what you do with that,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So they can find you on the internet, do it with a...
Yeah,
you've got a-
geocaching.com. Yep.
Geocaching.com, there you go.
Yep.
So Lone Eagle, he does a lot of that. He's works near here, and comes through this town all the time to and from work, and so
Yeah.
you asked about when I'd be here in the comments, and I told you, and you managed to find me.
Yep.
So, and Rusty's actually being kind of calm right now, which is
Yeah.
amazing.
That's good.
Yeah. Well, nice to meet you. Thanks for coming by.
Yep.
Yeah, he does a lot of geocaching and stuff. He goes by Lone Eagle, I think is what he said. And he works in the pig industry up there and does a lot with that. So I learned more about pigs than I ever needed to know, but had a real good chat. Always love meeting people out here on the road who subscribe to the channel. So if I'm ever in your area, you know, just I usually try to let you know where I'm staying and stuff. So would always love to meet you and say hi. All right, caught another Ass-Wagon when I was on my way over to Clara City. We're coming from one highway to the next one. I've got a green turn signal. Truck with a trailer opposite me, who's got a red light, sees the big truck coming and go, oh, I can probably make it out in front of him. Yeah, he did, but just barely. He was being an ass-wagon. I had to slow down for him. And by the way, I just saw an article that a lot of states are now considering getting rid of the whole turning right on red thing. So that might be a thing going away. All right, so after I delivered that insulation, then of course I went up to Perham and picked up that candy and popcorn and stuff going to Northfield, Minnesota, to a McLean, which is where I always pick up the cereal that goes back to Cheyenne. And literally, McLean is literally right next door to the post facility. But I had never been there before, and it didn't even dawn on me that being a food facility, they might have a lumper. And again, if you are newer to trucking and you don't know what lumpers are, they're the people in most grocery warehouses. They hire an outside firm known as a lumping company or a lumper to unload the trucks for them, because I think a lot of it's insurance reasons, but the biggest scam in the industry. So then Capstone, or as I call them, Crapstone, was the lumper there at McLean. That usually means a long unloading time. These guys aren't paid too well. Whoever's running the company is the only one making the money. Then they charge you, the driver. For last night in Northfield, it was $195 to unload the trailer. And me and Elliot both have always said this should not be a driver responsibility. And usually the brokers cover that. But of course I called, this was Halvor, Halvor. They're a trucking company and logistics, which also means brokerage, out of Wisconsin, Superior, Wisconsin. Well, there's nobody after hours to answer. So Elliot had to give me an EFS check, money code to pay it. And then we have to go back to Halvor and then get the rate con adjusted to add that to it, $195. $200 to unload, come on. And like I say, and then they take their time, and usually they end up trashing your trailer. These guys actually left it fairly clean, which was nice. I still have to clean it out before post anyway, but it is such a scam. And then when you pay Capstone, I finally got the code, got it paid, and it specifically said, do not pull out from the door. Wait until we let you know your bills are ready. Okay, I'm waiting and waiting. I got there at 8 o'clock for an 8:30 appointment. They stopped unloading probably somewhere around 11. I'm waiting and waiting. Finally, about 12:30, Guy comes up in a pickup, gets out and walks up to my window and says, "You got a green light." I said, "Yeah, I know I do, but I'm a rule follower and the instructions said wait until they call me back and tell me the bills are ready." He said, "No, they're in the back of your trailer. Just go ahead and pull out." Information I could have used 90 minutes ago. So that took longer to get out of there. Wasn't happy about that. I was off duty at that point. I just put myself on PC to go the quarter mile across the road to park on the road in front of Post for my pickup for the next morning. Because you can do that after you're unloaded when you're empty. And so I didn't want to interrupt my break so that I could still get loaded early enough in the morning. And then I didn't sleep all that well during the night. Blah, blah, blah. It's another thing. But got loaded with my cereal after cleaning out the trailer. And so here we are parked now. It is Wednesday night, the 8th of November. And I'm in Greenwood, Nebraska, halfway between Omaha and Lincoln. There's this brand new little Speedy Mart that's got about 75 truck spots, concrete lot, nice place to park. Although the wind's howling tonight, so I may be rocking tonight, baby. Yeah, lumpers are just a total scam, and it should not be up to the driver to deal with that. Walmart, a few years ago, finally even got rid of it. They used to charge a $50 lumper fee regardless of the size of the load. It was always $50. They finally got rid of that because they realized how stupid that was, and they just charged the shippers directly for unloading fees. Costco doesn't charge any unloading fees. You know, so here are your two biggest national retailers who finally realized how stupid that is. It's only in the grocery industry, unfortunately. Like McLean, Cisco, U.S. Foods, Kroger, Safeway, Aldi, all your major ones, they end up hiring, and most of them hire this damn company Crapstone, which that's what they are, I'm sorry. And then you have to deal with that, and they're slower than a Walmart or a Costco. They usually trash your trailer. They break up all the pallets. They bounce onto your trailer really hard. I mean, and you got to pay them. I just ain't right, baby. And there, right there, is another reason I do drive van now and I don't do reefer anymore. I don't have to deal with lumpers very often, especially with my lignite loads. No lumpers on either end. The cereal loads. Yeah, technically Walmart, used to charge for unloading, but they don't anymore. So it just didn't even dawn on me when I showed up to that McLean that, oh, they might have a lumper. Elliot, my partner with L on Wheels, he has to deal with that all the time because he's got a reefer trailer. And right now he's got a load of pork going to Massachusetts, and I'm sure he'll have a reefer on that end. The other reason I hate reefer running anymore is because it's usually grocery warehouses where they make you deliver in the middle of the night. And I don't tend to like that either. But yes, there's more money to be made, but you weigh the hassle. What can I say? Okay, so I'm running the Cheyenne cereal right now. Delivers tomorrow afternoon, Thursday, 4:10 p.m. I'll probably run up towards Glen Rock tomorrow night. Probably stay in Douglas, and so I can pick up Friday morning, pick up the lignite again, going back to Wisconsin for a Monday delivery. Talk to DLS. I got another cereal load, picking up Monday afternoon, delivering Tuesday afternoon. It's going to be kind of a tight one. And then I pick up the lignite again next Wednesday, delivering in Rothschild, Wisconsin on Friday. So we're doing that loop, baby. And after that, I really don't know. Well, just kind of a short one tonight, but that means Rusty gets his begging strips, so he's happy, right? Oh yeah, you don't have to butter me up. They're coming. Thanks for tuning in. As always, please subscribe. Please like and comment. I get your comments as soon as I can. Sometimes takes a few days because I'm a working truck driver. Clutch Trucker on Instagram, Clutch Trucker on Twitter, where I tend to always put Rusty stuff. Also, Clutch Trucker 5 on TikTok. And as always, if that magic YouTube fairy dust, Clutch and Rusty, out. Invention, my dear friends, is 93% perspiration, 6% electricity, 4% evaporation, and 2% butterscotch ripple. That's 105%! He's prancing, he's dancing, because he knows what's coming, right? Oh yeah. Do you want the begging strips? Is that it, Rusty? Begging strips? Alrighty, there you go. Oh, you threw it over there. Onto the step. We'll get it, silly dog. Oh yes, happy doggy. See, he always has to move to his pet bed to eat his begging strips. Yeah, he's 13 years old or so, maybe even a little bit older. So he's like all of us when we get older, kind of stuck in his ways. What do you think there, baby? Yeah. Oh, he's all over it tonight. Oh, yes. It's a beautiful thing. Ready for another one? Oh, thank you, Dada. Thank you. Thank you. That's one happy dog there. Wow. Went through him quick. Happy dog look.